Hi. So today, what I wanted to talk about was how do you find the things that basically make your life tolerable when you have avoidant personality disorder? Um, which I realize I keep saying things that are so simple and so obvious, but I'm not saying how to do them. Um, it is true that at some point you're going to give up on the social norms um, and live your own life. This is true. And it is also true that the older you are, the easier it is to do that. Um, and that's just like for all people, you know, people without any issue at all um, talk about as they got older, they just didn't care what other people thought about them nearly as much as they did when they were younger. Um, okay, great, facts. However, that doesn't mean just because suddenly you're not, bound by social conventions, that does not mean that everything just snap goes great for people. So how do you find the things that are going to work for you? Um, First of all, it helps. Unfortunately, it helps a lot if you can cut ties with um, whoever it was that abused you into making you have avoidant personality disorder, because that is literally what happens is that somebody um, finds that having you um, not be able to be independent um, makes their life better for whatever reason. Maybe they're just terrible bullies. Maybe they really are getting something from you because you can't stand up for yourself. Um, and you've been trained not to do that. And that's what happens when you have avoidant personality disorder. You just have to accept it, and you don't even notice it a lot. And that's why it's such a huge shock when you get the diagnosis, and it's suddenly like a massive relief when you find out that this thing really exists. Um, I mean, that's across the board. That's what I've heard from absolutely everybody that's actually gotten a diagnosis. Um, which again, there's big debate, blah blah blah. Uh, People who say, "Oh, it's an avoidant thing," and I avoid living life. I avoid people, which is actually usually a sign of depression rather than avoidant personality disorder. But anyway, back to the topic. What do you do in the meantime? When you have like so little self-esteem and you think that whatever you're doing has been deemed absolutely worthless because you are worthless as a person, and therefore there's nothing that you can do that's going to be of worth. And also, it's a tool that the people that are abusing you are going to use against you. Either they're going to like literally take it from you, um, or they're going to diminish it and humiliate you for having anything to do with these things. So, how do you get past that? Um, Geez, when I say it like that, it's really, really hard. Um, Again, it's a lot easier if you are not dealing with um, the people who set you up to become avoidant. Um, with my family, my immediate family. My mother and father are both, uh, they're both dead at this point. Um, and I have basically, I mean, it's not like I formally went and cut these people out. It's not like I sent them a note that said, "You are no longer part of my life." But for example, on social media, well, actually, most social media I don't even interact with at all. Like this social media, where you're actually talking to people that you know, I just don't have anything to do with it. Um, but most of them, like for example, Facebook, I just deleted everybody from my friend list, got rid of them all from my family, basically anybody who had been trained by my mother the same way I have been trained to treat me the way that she felt that I should be treated. And people thought that I was going along with it and that that's how I wanted to be treated because I never spoke up because I couldn't speak up. So yeah, in my case, it was get rid of my whole family basically. Um, I know that that's not possible for a lot of people, and I know that a lot of people actually their family is the only place where they feel safe. I get it. You have a different scenario, but there's something to get actual avoidant personality disorder. You need a trigger, and if you can get that trigger out of your life, then things will be better. Um, Eventually, you will stop seeing yourself 100% through the eyes of the trigger person, and you will be able to separate out. And it is weird. It's like going, okay, you're going from a whole person to something that kind of resembles dissociative personality type traits. Not really. I mean, most people can understand that the thoughts that they're having, are not necessarily reality. Like in any case, you might think to yourself, whatever, oh, it's chilly today or something like that. That's not somebody speaking to you and telling you it's chilly today. Um, so if you can sort of categorize what those thoughts are, whether they are just general facts, whether they are your actual opinion, or if you are basically repeating something you heard from abuse in the past, or interpreting something through that abusive lens. Um, Knowing that and sort of categorizing how you think about things is a great way to. I mean, if you can do it, it takes a little while. The thing is, this is something you've had this for years and years, and you've got years and years and years of your life. This is not something that you can do like snap your fingers, and that is fine. You've got years and years to rebuild your life, to restructure your life so that it's not so bogged down with the avoidant personality disorder. And if you can like separate yourself from the avoidance, that's huge, because then you can find something that you're interested in and that you like, that makes life enjoyable. And because they will always come in, because the thing is it's a self-protective thought process that creates the personality disorder. And it's not like there's some sort of standard where it's like, okay, I mean, it wouldn't be a personality disorder if there was a standard where it could say, okay, this is a positive thing and this is a negative thing. So this positive thing I'm going to let go through my filter, and this negative thing is going to get caught up in it. That doesn't happen. Absolutely everything gets caught up in this sieve of thoughts, which is trying to protect you. And it's automatic and it just happens immediately because, again, it's trying to protect you. Especially when it's something that you've been dealing with that you thought was so normal that you couldn't recognize as abuse or as anything other than, well, this is just how things are. So your avoidant traits protect you before you can have to have more abuse heaped on you, which means it's going to protect you before good things are allowed to come in too. So, separating those out and seeing, this is an avoidant thought, this is more what my opinion is the next really great thing that you can do. And again, it takes a while for you to get to the point where you can do that. And the thing is, you can reintegrate again in the end. It's sort of like you have the thought and you don't have to consciously think, okay, is this avoidant, is this not? You just know. You can just know. And a lot of it is sort of the attitude or how you feel when you have this thought or whatever, that you'll be able to know pretty much immediately after a while, okay, this is an avoidant thought. This is not, an organic, genuine thought. This is something that has gone through that filter process. And it's not necessarily always negative either. I mean, it's hard to explain that part. It's not like all the nasty things that you think about yourself is what it is. It's more like, again, it's a thought that's stuck in the past. And I mean, it could be stuck in the past where you're like, I think I like this thing. This makes me happy because it made you happy when you were 8 years old. And so you're holding on to that and you're sort of like stuck in the past. That would be an avoidant thing, especially if that's when the abuse was heaped on you. That's the avoidant thing. Not necessarily bad. So, once you have been able to separate out your actual thoughts from avoidant reaction, then you can really see. It's hard for me to say this because it's just like, oh yeah, you can just do this. This is when you really are coming up against something that's going to really push against your avoidance, because what was before was just like, even like if you're getting people out of your life, I mean, that's not really, I mean, can feel like very, very confrontational, this slow pullback, but it really isn't. You're not actually doing anything, you're just getting, pulling back. Even though, I mean, when you're in the midst of it, when it's very new, when they're wrapped around your finger, it's very, very hard. It's very hard. And there's a chance, big chance they're going to come back multiple times. That's okay. It's okay. Give yourself a break about it. The second thing, where you're just really learning how to sort your thoughts, that's still not confrontational. It'll feel confrontational, like, how dare you? How dare you confront this thing that's saving you? How dare you confront this thing you've been told all your life by this person? Obviously they know better than you for whatever reason you've decided is the reason to go along with the avoidance. And I'm not saying that as like a nasty shame on you thing. I'm saying that as a fact, that there is some part of you that's decided that the protection of avoidant personality disorder is paramount and is worth whatever you go through. And because you've got to get like over and through that resistance to keep going. So the fact that you're watching this video and trying, you're pushing against things. That's impressive. But really, the next step is a true push, which is to then find something. I mean, and it can be the littlest thing. It can be deciding that you like a certain type of clothes to wear, or not. It can be deciding, you like a certain type of weather better than another type. And these are like the most basic things where it's like, oh my God, what am I, 2? The 2-year-old can tell you that they prefer sun to rain, or they love to splash in puddles, better than it's too hot. I mean, a 2-year-old can do that. But when you've been trained that any thought that you have is wrong, is unworthy, is invalid, then to have that type of thought at all is a challenge to what you've known as your life, and is a challenge to your safety, because you're pushing against avoidant thoughts that are supposed to protect you. It's hard. It's really hard. But it really is that simple. Like, it's basically catching your thoughts. That if you find something intriguing or interesting or nice, or you just like it, or you're attracted to it for whatever reason, and then immediately something comes behind you and makes you think, oh, you shouldn't think that. Oh, that's a stupid thing to think. Oh, like you have any taste. Oh, that's just not right. And that type of anything, like where it's an immediate reaction that is dismissing your initial thought. I mean, just because you like something, you don't need to get everything that you like. Okay? So the first thing to do is to find something that you enjoy in any way, shape, or form. And this sounds so nuts, but it really takes work, is to sit and be able, like literally to sit with it, to be able to be around something that you enjoy without berating yourself for it and forcing yourself to get away from it. Because that is the immediate reaction when you have avoidant personality disorder, is to get away from anything that you could have a connection with, because connections are bad. Connections are unsafe. You are not allowed to have an opinion. You are not allowed to like something. And so to sit with the knowledge that there is something out there that you like, especially if it's something that could be something that somebody else doesn't like. And I mean, it's so stupid. I mean, it could be anything. Like, they just had Oreo Reese's Cups. Let me tell you, this is like the most influential actual thing that anybody could have in their life. I mean, I suppose you could eat, 12 packs of them all at once and end up in the hospital with a blood sugar attack or something like that. It is conceivable, but as a general rule, this is something that does not matter at all whatsoever. And yet I have heard so many people debate about these stupid little cookies. Like, oh my God. Whether they're good or bad, whether they are. I'm serious. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's where I live. Maybe we really don't have anything else. But also, it's the most unbelievably trivial thing that people could have a conversation about. I think it could be because there are some very non-trivial things that really set people off, and that people are now trying to talk about things that really don't matter, and they can have an opinion about it, and it won't like cause World War III almost literally because they have a different opinion. That type of thing. A dumb thing. Do you like a TV show? Do you even like TV? Um, that sort of dumb thing. I mean, you get to make those choices. And the more trivial and basic a thing like, do you prefer tea or coffee? I bet that's a hard question for a lot of people. Do you prefer tea or coffee? I'm not allowed to have a preference. My family never had tea in the house. We only had coffee. I am not allowed to have a preference. The tea and coffee thing in my family, oh my lord. My father had tea, my mother had coffee. Oh my god. You were aligning yourself with one or the other, which meant that you were unaligned with the other one if you had either of those things. So let me tell you, I almost never drink tea or coffee because I'm not going to get in the middle of that fight. No way. I'm not going to throw my 2 cents in. So you know what? For me, those are things that I just don't, no, something I don't want in my life. As a general rule, I'll have, geez, I don't even remember. Well, iced tea, I'll drink iced tea every once in a while in the summertime. Um, I don't know, actually, I'll drink iced coffee, same thing. Hot coffee? I went to Australia, they had really good hot coffee. But yeah, I mean, because again, even iced coffee and iced tea versus hot coffee and hot tea, again, I'm pulling myself out of that debate. And that is okay. I can have that preference to have those drinks iced versus hot. That's fine. I can have a preference to drink almost anything, but that's fine. And it's actually hard to come up with that sort of thing. So that's how you basically do it, baby steps. And then you can decide to do something like, for instance, and that's another thing. It could be that you like something, and because you're not having the avoidant yell at you, you might not even realize that you like something. I know that sounds really dumb, but it could be that you don't notice that you like something because you're not having the immediate protective, no, you will be protected. For instance, again, this is hard to say out loud for me because I'm like, I'm going to be judged. And that's so stupid. But, because, I mean, it is so stupid. It is so stupid. It is so stupid to limit yourself because you're afraid that you're going to be judged. But it is also a fact of life. You will limit yourself because you're afraid you're going to be judged. And it really doesn't matter what people on the internet have to say about something that I like. It really doesn't. And yet, this is the avoidance. And you don't have to push through and admit to people. You can just think something and like keep it secret. That's fine. Nobody cares that you have a secret. I mean, really. Nobody cares. And people, even if they're like married for 50, 60 years, have secrets from each other. It's okay, fine. I'm kind of fascinated by how much it's come to my attention that I really, really like ancient architecture. To the point where, I travel quite a bit, and to like, wait, you never repeat. First of all, that's not true. There are certain things that I repeat. People who don't know me my whole life don't realize that. Because I am sort of like, okay, well, there's lots of new things in the world. Unless it's completely spectacular, why would I repeat? I am sort of doing a repeat. I am not going to the exact same place, but I am doing I'm going to a country that I've already gone to before, to see a culture that I've already seen before, but in another country. Makes sense? Um, and I'm really excited about it. And in a way, a lot of times I'm like the trips that I've gone on, I'm more excited to do this repeat and to like experience more of this culture than I am sometimes to go to a brand new place. And um, my sort of bucket list or whatever of places that I'd go to, I'm kind of like, I should, hate that word, but I should be trying to get another continent under my belt. I mean, why not? I mean, I doubt, I so doubt I'd get them all, but I'm really close. Antarctica, way. I mean, if somebody wants to sponsor me and send me to Antarctica, I don't care how sick I get on my way down. But it's so expensive that, yeah, not really interested in spending $30,000, $40,000 for real for a week in Antarctica just so I can say I went to another continent. But there is one other continent that I haven't been to yet that people are like, what? What? That one's pretty basic. You should go. And I'm like, yeah, probably at some point I will. But I'd actually rather go to another location that is almost cliche again because of the culture that I would go and see. Um, do you see all this justification I'm making to say this is something that I would like to do? This is avoidance. And it doesn't completely ever go away, but it gets better. And eventually you can decide something like, do you want to do something like travel the world? You know what? I could be saving the money for my retirement. I could be. Um, I wouldn't have to do this. Most people don't, especially in the U.S. Most people don't even have a passport in the U.S. And yet, look at what I do because I find it interesting. I do things that are like, I mean, if you've seen the shorts and the other videos that I make, yeah, by the way, Advent season, real Advent. I mean, I did it last month. It was for Halloween. Give me a break. Real Advent season starts in like a couple weeks, less than a couple weeks. Most people don't do that, but I do. Um, and truthfully, half the time I really do. I feel like I need to apologize for basically just living my life and doing silly hobbies. What? 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 Um, that is the avoidant personality disorder. And that's why it's personality disorder. Because other people can be like, ooh, I like this thing. I'm gonna go see this movie and I can't wait to go see it. And then I would never. You know? Yeah. I don't think I could ever truly express unadulterated joy or even like just decent joy in public. Maybe after the fact I can say, oh, I did this thing. I can say, I can sort of like skirt it and say, I've got these plans. I'm going to do this thing in the future. But to just say, yay, I'm going to go do this. No, because I could be smacked down. I will be smacked down. Somebody will criticize me for it. Even, I mean, I mean, okay, So this week, all I keep hearing about from people is, oh my God, they're having a new Wicked movie come out. I didn't see the first one. I haven't seen the Broadway show. Not my thing. But if it was, there's no way I would have bought a ticket, and I would have big plans on how to call into sick at work, because I'm not even going to take the day off, but damn straight I'm going to take the day off because I couldn't be around coworkers and be excited. Proof of that. I go to concerts every once in a while. I go to concerts where I have to get on a plane and get away from here to go to a concert, because I can't let the people in my life see me get excited about something. But I still do it. And if that's what it takes, if it takes getting on a plane for me to go and have a good time, then I will get on a plane to go and have a good time. And that's it. That's what you do. You figure out what you really like. You ignore your self-criticism, which is not actual self-criticism, but is, these repeating sort of scripts that you grew up with that gave you the avoidant personality disorder. You ignore those and you find a way to participate. There's other people I know, this the complete opposite. They want to do something, then they need to find somebody to go with them. They can't do it by themselves. There's no way they could ever do it by themselves. They need to find a safe person that has been proven that they will back them up in order to do something that they would be interested in doing. Fact. I'm the complete opposite. I'm the opposite. I have to be away from everybody I know. For me, going to a family function would be the same as another person deciding to, do their first, skydive trip. Because I know I'll be criticized. And the people who are doing skydiving are like, I know I'm going to be scared. It's the same. For me, it's the same. Anyway, I've rambled forever. I hope that it can be distilled into some actual advice for you. But yeah, that's what you have to do. You have to get rid of the actual direct criticism. You have to then figure out the part of your thought process that is mimicking the criticism and shut it down somehow. And usually it's one of those things where you bring it out into daylight. That's all you need to do to have you say, okay, well, I see this and I know this isn't actually true, in order to take the next step, which is then to experiment and pay attention and allow you to have personal opinions about something, and then figure a way to physically experience those opinions. I should have said that straight from the start. It would have been a 40-second video instead of this huge long ramble. Anyway, I'll see you next week.